Hello there everybody, SD Mapping here. Today we're going to be looking at a scenario where Caspia wins the coalition war. Why am I speaking with thick British accent? I don't know. But yeah, so this has been a heavily requested video by one person and two people actually. But yeah, so I'm doing it for him because I feel like he needs it. Yeah, we're going to be looking at a scenario where Caspia wins the coalition war. If you don't know what I'm talking about, good for you, you've stumbled across the best fandom ever. Talking about what civilization started over episode 61, where Caspia gets absolutely jumped by all of these guys. So my first little tweak I'm going to make is Caspia never sends the ultimatum to the HRE. So the border still looks like this, and now I need to send my major cities map. Anyway, yeah, found my major cities map, and that'll be important. But yeah, so this event happened because it was the reason they violated a a non-aggression pact with the HRE, and that's what made a lot of countries get involved. Of course, if they invaded the HRE, a lot of countries would still get involved, and we'll see that. But if they don't sign the non-aggression pact, some countries might not get involved. I had another idea planned with Persia, but so we would still likely see the invasion of this country to get the Caspian coastline, but instead of them sending the ultimatum and eventually betraying the trust of this country, they're gonna just invade them straight up. Caspia declares war on the Holy Russian Empire, which again, just like in our timeline, leads to joining a coalition again. What? Where's it go? Many countries joining the coalition against Caspia, being Caucasia, the Pink Team, the Persian country, and most notably the Tibetan country. Now you'll notice, if you've watched the actual episode, which I'd hope most of you have, India is not joining this war. They did in our timeline, that is the main difference. India might join this war later, but it's not important now. So yeah, we would see the pushing in commencing from... Yeah, we would see Persia pushing into the Caspian... Well, we would see Persia pushing into the Caspian Sea country... Whoa, I'm talking like I'm episode 1 ages. We see the Persian country pushing into Caspian territory, quickly taking over many major cities. Also, I forgot to mention, when all of this land was conquered, especially this land down here, there was no genocide in our timeline. Like, so in our actual timeline, there was a huge genocide against the Red Team's people here, but in this one, the people here were treated a lot more fairly, given rights and stuff. Obviously not many rights, but still given rights. So yeah, it means that, which means that the rebellion down here doesn't actually end up starting, which is very good for Caspia. Up north we have the Tibetan country starting their invasion of Caspia, which will go pretty well for the Red Team. The Red Team and Caspia are on, I wouldn't say equal grounds, but these are the 10th strongest country, and you're in the top 20. So they do pretty well at taking land, and they're actually going to be the one to spearhead towards the capital city. My tolerance is out of whack. Alright, so next event we have is the Pink Team starting their push into Caspian territory and pushing down towards their old capital, which, is obviously the main target. They have a lot more success than in our timeline, actually, because Caspia wasn't really expecting they were expecting the jumping more than in our timeline, but like they weren't expecting this country to get involved. Or this one. Or like nah, just these two. Especially this one. But yeah, we're in the court. Alright, so our next event is Caucasia pushing into the Caspian Sea country, the same way they did in our timeline, and also, as happened in our timeline, Caspia quickly overwhelms the capital of this country and even starts to push into the Caucasian country. They're also very successful in holding the pink team back in this area, which is a right shame because this is where the bulk of pink team forces are, which means that they can also come up here and invade into the pink team, which is, you know, a right shame for the coalition. If only they could get another ally in their hand. Persia is begging India to join the war, but India's like, not yet. So we have all these countries finally arriving on the front line with Caspia, and they're being, I don't want to say held back, they're still making some decent land gain, but they're not progressing as fast as they could be. Because this is a what if they won, and it's meant to be realistic, it's not a what if everything went perfect for. I might make one of those. Put in the comments if you want one. Yeah, but we have the red team continuously pushing into the green team, and really just they're doing a lot of damage, but that's mostly because once these major cities were captured, the green team does not care about like this area. It's not really important to the country. It's just old brown team land they don't really care about or need to care about. So they're just focusing on the core territory and keeping Persia away from it. Now Persia is being funded by India. India did not directly join the war or send any troops, but Persia is still being funded and getting provided military equipment by India. So you have Persia's military campaign going excellently well, and I know I said the rebellion won't start, but like they are. Just because there's no rebellion don't mean they're not being welcomed with open arms here. But anyway, Caspia quickly overwhelms the yellow country, taking major city after major city after major city. There might be one behind the diamond as well. But yeah, this country completely capitulates over the Caspia. However, the Dark Grey team can still push into the area, trying their best to keep their ally alive. And the Dark Cyan team in our timeline could push back pretty well, but in this timeline, they're about to get absolutely folded over as Caspian troops flood into the capital. And really just not a good day for me. Caucasian troops continue to push down this region until having to evacuate most of their forces because there is a big threat in the north. And we have Caspia almost achieving its dreams of completely engulfing the Caspian Sea again, and they are successful in this as they kick the Caucasian country out of their territory and then continue into their territory, like Caucasia's territory. Now, things are looking very good for Caspia right now, and it looks like they've practically won the war. Which, I think this is what this video is meant to be, but no, I'm going to make it longer. we have them quickly kicking out Pink Team out of their territory, because come on, it's the Pink Team, what are they going to do? And eventually just capitulating them. I don't even show that. But they did that in real life as well. Anyway, now we have a lot of troops being diverted, which means that the Dark Signing country can kick them out of the capital and even launches an offensive into their allies' territory. South Persia has continuous gains, mostly because of the same reason that the Red Teams have continuous gains. They don't care about this land. And they even push into the puppet state, capturing the major city of the puppet state, and almost capturing the capital, but the Caspian troops arrive just in time to kick them out. Shouldn't have done that. Yep, that looks a bit weird, but it's fine. And then kicking Persians out of life until eventually they are almost completely kicked out of the country and an offensive is started into their country. But even though it may seem over as Caspian troops, but not all hope is lost for the coalition, as they will be getting another ally. They will get two more allies actually in this war to finally maybe bring an end to Caspia. The main ally that they get is India, and the less main ally that they get is Afghanistan. Into the Caspian country very quickly because they were not expecting these two to join the war. We have a very interesting event happening next. The Parallelogram Alliance goes to India and says, leave the war or you're at war with the entire Parallelogram Alliance. India says you're bluffing and the Gold Team declares war on India.